Hello everyone, good evening. So I'll be sharing my screen right away. So we'll be starting off with the demo session, with the webinar session as well. And once the webinar session is over, you can have the Q&A session with our CTO and the CEO as well. So just a moment, let me share my screen as well. So today what we'll be discussing will be about the client's portfolio and how you can onboard a client's portfolio in our platform and how you can take out different kind of reports out of that. So we'll be discussing about that, okay? So first of all, you can check out this is our platform and you just need to go to the client section. So first of all, what we have is we have three different kind of features, how you can onboard any client's portfolio in our platform. So first of all, what we have is the RTA connection. So you can check out this RTA connection through what we capture the direct current holdings of the files of your client's portfolio through CAMS and CARVI, that is WBR4, and from CARVI directly capture the MFSG 203. And from that, what we capture is from your ARN number or the RIA code. We capture all the clients' data from here, and you can check out all the clients' data in this section over here directly. So what you can now do is you can directly open any of the client's portfolio and you can have an analysis as well. And other than that, what you can also do is we also have another tool that is the statement analyzer option through what you can directly upload any kind of client's portfolio through the manual data. So if you're having any kind of client's portfolio, so for that, what you need to do is you need to go to the launch tool section in the statement analyzer option. And from here, what you can directly do is you can directly check out, am I audible? Uh, oh, thank you so much. So first of all, what we'll need to do is you can directly check out. We just need to choose a file from a system. So what we'll do is we'll just choose one file from here and just upload it over here. And we'll just need to upload the password as well. Just a moment. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just give the password right away over here. And you can directly check the file. You can just click on this check file option. And from here, you can now check out that it has been uploaded and you can see the recognized file type is the CDSL file. And what you can do from here is you can directly give any kind of name, like you can give a test file from here directly, the name as well. And you can save it over here directly. So it just takes some of the time. So just well wait for some time. Okay, so now you can see that the file has been uploaded over here. This test file has been uploaded over here. You can check it out. And now you can directly go back to the NGEN Markets page. And what you need to do is you can directly click on this manual data option. And from here, what you can do is you can click on this add a client from statement analyzer option. So when you click on this, you will be getting an option to upload the files directly. So whatever you will be checking out, you can directly also check out is what is the components of the portfolio that you are having as well. Like what are the funds holdings and what is the current values and the unit that is will be also available over here. And after that, what you can do is you can click on this plus icon and it will be directly uploaded over here. So now what you can do is you can check the files over here directly. Okay, so I'll just check this out once. Okay, so what we can do is I'll just choose one another file just for the example file. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience caused. So what I'll do is I'll just choose the file from the load statement analyzer from this new portfolio section. And from here, you just need to click on this load statement analyzer icon. And now you can click on this plus icon to upload the file directly over here. So once it's uploaded over here, so you can check out like what is the components of the fund and you can check out how it is performing. So for that, you can directly you can change the name as well. And you can also change the folder if you want, and you can click on create. And after that, you can directly click on run as well. So this is how you can directly upload a file from the statement analyzer icon. And what you can also do in this client section from here is you can also upload a manual entry For that, what you need to do is you just need to click on this manual data option. And from here, you just can click on the add client manually option as well. So for that, what you need to do is you, first of all, you need to click on this full name option. You can give a name as well. Like we can just give a test file as well, just, and we can just give a random PAN number as well. Now you can click on add a client option. So after that, what you will just need to do is you just need to add the funds from here, or you can also give the stocks as well. So we will just add some of the funds for an example for. So we can just type in some of them. And after that, what you can do is, like, if you already know what is the units the client is already having, so you can directly enter the units and it will automatically capture over here. So if you know the client is already having a 500 units of Axis Blue chip, so that can be also done over here and you can check them out. And after that, what you can do is you can see the current valuation of the overall fund. You can also add some of the stocks as well. So like if you want to add any kind of stocks, you can directly add the stocks as well from here. And it will automatically capture the number of units if you give the. So if you put 1,000 units of that specific stocks, if you know the client is having that, you can also add that thing from here directly as well. And we'll also take some of them for an example file. We'll just click on this and just add them. And you can also give the units from here, or if you don't know the units, like if you only know what is the current valuation he is having. So if you know he's holding an amount of total 5 lakh rupees of that specific stock, you can also give the specific amount and over here it will automatically capture it. So now you can also click on done and now you can have a full analysis of that client's portfolio as well. So like this way it will be uploaded and you can check the analysis over here directly. And you can also click on run analytics option. So for further analytics of this specific portfolio. So now what we can also do is, like, this was how you can upload a client's portfolio through the RT connection, or if you also want to upload a client's portfolio through the manual data, that can be also done from here directly. And after that, what you can also do is you can directly go to the portfolio section where you will be able to upload or create a different kind of model portfolios, or you can also add any kind of different kind of portfolios if you don't have any kind of cash PDF from the clients as well. So what is the option that you'll be getting is you can directly add a fund or stocks from here directly, and you can directly have a full analysis on them as well. So if you want to add them on a manual basis, that can be also done. Or if you have IC numbers from Excel, so for that, what you need to do is you can just directly click on this ICs. And what we'll do is I'll just share my screen as well. What we will do, we will just copy some of the ICs from the Excel sheet. Just give me a moment. So from here, you can check out that we have the IC numbers and as well as the weightage, like what is the percentage we are having. So what we'll do is we'll just copy the IC numbers. Just don't copy the name as well. So just click over here and we'll just copy this one. And we'll come back to this main page and we'll paste it over here. Just a moment. Okay, so what we have done is we have copied some of the files. So what we have done is we have copied the amount as well. So we have just pasted it over here and we can directly click on this validate input. So for that, what we have taken is the amount as well from here. So what we'll do is we'll read the holding as amount from here, rupees. So if we had the units per shares or percentage, we can directly give that as well. And you can directly click on validate input from here. And from here, what you can do is you can give a name from to this. So like it may be a test file as well. We'll just take it as a test file. And you can click on run as well to have a full analysis on the portfolio over here. So this is how you can directly upload any kind of client's portfolio in our platform. And what you can also do is you can analyze on any client's portfolio. So what we have done is we have created some of the test files before only. So you can directly click on run and you can have a full portfolio analysis on that specific portfolio as well. So for further analysis, what we have over here is, just a moment, just let it get loaded. Okay, so starting off with the different kind of allocations and different kind of performance with any kind of benchmark, what you can do is you can directly compare it with. So if you are having a full analysis on this specific portfolio, you can check out the components that it is having as well. And you can also change the start date of this specific portfolio for the analysis. So you can directly click on this option and you can choose any specific time frame. Like if you want to choose it for the 3 years period, you can directly click on 3 years option and it will be only showing you that specific time frame over here. And now what you can do, you can directly check the full performance of that specific portfolio in comparison with any kind of benchmark over here. So what it is taken is the reference index 3 that we have some of the benchmark that we have already created in our platform from our source. So over here, what you can see is you can directly click on the search reference indices option. And from here, what it has taken is if you check out this overall portfolio, it has taken this reference index 3. So like it has taken its 80% of composition of Nifty Tri and 20% of CCIL bond index. Because overall portfolio allocation, if you go and check it out over here, so it might consist of maximum of equity and the rest only is about the debt. So like this way also you can have the analysis of the overall portfolio. So starting off with the cumulative returns, you can check out how your portfolio in this asset option has performed in comparison with the benchmark. So your cumulative return is around 83.76% during this time frame, whereas the benchmark has only generated 61.41% over here. You can also check out what is the total simple return it has generated with the CAGR over here since the last time frame that we have taken from 15th October 2020. And you can directly check out like how your portfolio is performing in comparison with any kind of benchmark over here data. You can also check out like what is the annual simple return it has generated. And you can tell your clients like how better the portfolio has been performing in comparison with the benchmark over here. And you can also choose any specific benchmark if you feel like from NSE, BSE, or from the world equity markets as well. You can directly click on them and you can choose the specific one as well. Then after that, you can also check out like what is the volatility, like of the overall portfolio that it is having. So if the client is checking out, you can also tell them like how the volatility has been lowered than the benchmark that we have taken in comparison with. Whereas you can also go ahead and you can check out like with the Sharpe ratio, like how better the Sharpe ratio of the overall portfolio is you're having with the benchmark, with the Sortino ratio as well. And you can also check out like what is the value at risk we are having. So this is the downside risk protection that we provide over here directly. So with the percentage option, you can check out like how it is performing and what is the downside performance. So if you are getting a 95% of value at risk in the historical performance, so over here, what it will be showing you is like if the fund is going down for the upcoming 1 year, how much percentage it will be going down, and the benchmark is worse than the portfolio that you are having. So there is only 5% chance that the portfolio will go or may go up to negative 13.26%, whereas the benchmark will tend to go up to negative 18.77% as well. And you can also check out and compare with the different kind of benchmark from here, different as well, like what is the cumulative excessive return over the benchmark or the annual excessive returns. And you can also check out like what is the up capture ratio or the down capture ratio over here as well. So if you go on a month-on-month wise checking on them, so like how it has been performing from the specific date that we have mentioned. So it is, or is it performing better than the benchmark on a month-on-month wise? That can be also checked out from here. So if it is giving going ahead above in the up capture ratio above 100%, so it means it is giving a better returns on a month-on-month wise in comparison with the benchmark that we have taken. And you can also check out like the down capture ratio. So this is a very well protected fund, the portfolio that we have taken over here. So you can see the returns. Like if the benchmark has given you negative 22.54%, your portfolio has only given you only negative 8.60% over here. So like this way also you can have analysis as well with the monthly chart and the yearly chart over here. You can check out how on a month-on-month wise how it has performed with the percentage over here that we have given over here. As well as that also you can check out on a yearly basis. And lastly, we have given some of the monthly statistics. Like if you want to go ahead and you can check out like we have the last 37 months. And on the basis of that, for the last 29 months, it was going up, and for the 8 months, it has gone down with the percentage, the average. You can also check out with the volatility and what was the worst and the worst during that time frame. That will be also shown you over here. And you can also go ahead and you can check out the yearly statistics, like how we have been performing. That can be also provided over here. Other than that, we'll move on to the next part, that is the contribution. So what this will be helping you as, you can check out like what is the total contribution it is generating to your portfolio. If you're having different kind of funds on stock within your portfolio, so you might give any specific time frame to choose. And if you want to check out how your funds or stocks have been performing in that specific time frame, that can be also checked out from here. So what you can do, you can give your own start date and end date. So like if you want to check out on the basis of the last during the 2020, so you can choose your own time frame, like it may be a June or May month, and you can give the first of that. And for the last upcoming 1 year, how it has performed, if you want to show it or if you want to check it as well. So that can be also done from here. We just need to choose the 1st of May over here as well. Okay, so we'll check 3rd of May and we can directly click on that. So what it will be showing you is during that time frame, how each and every fund has generated, what is the total percentage of return it has generated, and in comparison with the specifically the allocation of the funds, how it has contributed to the overall portfolio. That will be also shown you over here. So like this, what you can do is you can directly have a full analysis of the overall portfolio with their components, with their contribution as well. Other than that, what you can do is also you can check out like what are the drawdowns it is having. So this will help you to check out the top losses that the overall portfolio ever had. How much percentage of loss it ever had with the negative 11.41 percentage. And you can also check out like when it happened with the start date and the end date, with the starting price and ending price over here as well. And once the loss is over, how many days it took to recover from that specific loss. So that will be also available over here. So you can check out what is the recovery date as well. And you can check out how your portfolio recovers from losses in different time frame as well. So now if you check out on a portfolio basis and you want to deep down and have an analysis of each and every fund of the overall portfolio. So for that, what you need to be doing is we just need to click on this compare icon that we have in this section. And what we'll do is we'll take all the funds from that specific holdings into the compare section for further comparison. And now we can come to the drawdown section over here directly for this analysis of the overall funds and stocks that we have. So over here, you can see that we have different time frame funds over here. What we'll do is we'll just come back to this main page, and what we'll do, we'll remove the younger funds that we have in our portfolio. We'll just sort it out first of all, and we'll remove the fund from here so that we can have a fuller, better analysis on the different time frames for a longer time frame. So over here now you can check out like what is the top sizes of losses it ever had. You can directly sort it out from here with the check number of length, like how many days it took to recover from them as well with the recovery amount as well. So like over here, what you can do, you can also click on this specific icon. So it will be directly showing you is with the recovery dates of the top 5 losses that ever happened with the chart format as well over here. So like this way also you can go down and you can have a deep analysis on each and every funds that you will be having over here. And you can again come back to the portfolio section so that you can check out the scenarios option that we have in the last format. So you can click on the scenarios option and you can choose this different time frames. So like if you want to choose any different time frame and you want to have an analysis on them as well. So what you can do is you can choose on any of the specific, see how the portfolio has performed. So if I think that portfolio is not for that specific time frame. So what we'll do is we'll take a later on time frame over here. And during over this time frame, how your portfolio has performed in comparison with the benchmark, that you can check it out over here with the return percentage and the volatility option as well. And once you have done with this, what you can directly do is you can also take out different kind of reports out of here. For that, what you need to do is you can directly click on this PDF option. And while clicking on this, you can directly check out what will help you is you can directly take out a watermark of your organization in your portfolio, and you can directly click on create PDF. So once you click on this create PDF, it will generate a PDF automatically. I'll just show you the file as well. So over here with the company name and logo, you can check out the overall testing file with the performance chart, how it has been performing, with the statistics as well, with the different kind of returns and with the benchmark, how the yearly chart has been performing with the yearly statistics as well, how that also you'll be able to check it out with the total top holdings, with the top exposures and what is the asset allocation the client is having, with the position concentration, the MC exposures, the equity market cap exposures, and different kind of the debt sectors, the equity sectors, maturity and duration. That will be also available over here. And lastly, we will also provide you with the rolling returns and the statistics with the drawdowns over here last. And now you can also add your own disclaimer. If you want to add any kind of different kind of disclaimer also while sharing with your clients over here, that can be also done directly. So now what you can also take out is you can also take a different kind of PowerPoint report from here. So for that, what you need to do is you can directly click on this PowerPoint icon. And from here, you can click on this create PPT option. So this will help you to generate a PowerPoint report out of this overall portfolio. So if you want to share it or if you want to give a presentation to the client as well, so that can be also done over here. So over here now, just a moment. I think my screen is visible to everyone. So over here also you can check out like in place of NGEN Markets, the company name and logo will be provided of your organization. So over here you can obviously change the name and you can check out like with the asset allocation, like how it has been performing with the asset allocation, the percentages wise. You can also check out the overall asset allocation with the position concentration and the equity market cap exposure The ratings exposure also will be available with the equity sector exposure, the debt. And after that, you can also check out like what is the historical performance it is generating, the year to date, the up to 5 years return as well. And after that, you can also check out the rolling analysis that will be also provided with the drawdowns over there. So this is also a editable PowerPoint. So if you want to make any kind of changes before presenting it to your client, that can be also done directly over there. And with that, we also provide two different more things. That is the client link option from the mobile link option. For what you need to do is you just need to click on this client link option over here directly. And this will help you to directly generate a link for your client on a SMS manner. So you just need to give a PIN and you can directly give the mobile number over here. And you can directly share it with your client and you can show them how the portfolio analysis looks like and how we can also show them the analytics, the portfolio statistics and everything with the market sections and the Indian current market. So you can also change it from BSE to NSE and you can also have analysis as well. And after that, we also have a share link option. So like if you want to share any kind of link with your clients, so for that, what you need to do is you just need to click on this icon and it will help you to directly show like how you can directly generate a copy of this. So you can directly copy out this thing and you can directly click on this generate option or another link option. And you can have analysis on that specific file as well. So over here, you can see how the portfolio will be performing and the client can look out how it is showing. And it will over here in place of NGEN Markets, it will be presented with your own company, organization name and logo. And over here, it will be written by your name and from the organization that you will be sharing as well. So after that, once you are done with this, what you can also do is you can generate a PowerPoint report that you want to share it on a basis of the current valuation, or if you want to directly present it to the client with a specific amount wise. So that can be also done over here. So what you can do if the client is willing to invest an amount of 1 crore, you can directly enter the amount and you can create a PPT on the basis of that as well. So I'll just share my screen as well, just a moment. So over here also you can see the same thing, the PowerPoint report like with this file, and over here now you can check out like the amount wise, like if you want to share them on the basis of the amount, you can also share it with the client as well, with the overall asset allocation on the basis of that specific amount that you will be sharing with the clients as well. So now this is how you can directly analyze a client's portfolio, how you can directly upload a client's portfolio as well. So I am done with this webinar session. So if you have any kind of queries, please go ahead and you can ask in the chat box as well.
Hi, I have Mayur this side. Sir, I have one small question. You have shown. Hello, I'm audible.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, so you have shown us one slide where we can see the fund has started underperformance. Okay, start date and the end date. And after that, you have also mentioned the it was the price which went from 158 to 137, or it was the NAV. No, I didn't
Sure.
understand what
So
was that.
yeah, sure. So basically, I believe you're talking about the drawdown section. So Ankush, let's just go to the drawdowns. Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah. So yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
what is this the start price and the end price?
Sure. So the start price is basically we've run a simulation of the historical returns of this portfolio. So we start this portfolio at a theoretical price of 100, right? And that 100 price then goes up, down, etc. Based on the movements of the individual funds and the allocation you have to those funds. So this is a reflection of the quote unquote price of your portfolio. So the price that you see here, this doesn't represent the price of any single fund, but this basically shows you the price of your portfolio, which starts at 100 on this simulation, and then keeps going up based on the performance of the funds. And on the way, when you have losses, it shows you that it fell from here to here. So you can basically use that to calculate the returns, which we've shown here, what the loss is. So this is a theoretical price of the portfolio.
So the theoretical price which has been decided 100, so it is decided on the basis of fund since inception or the investor enter into that specific fund.
No, so whatever fund you enter, this in this case, this has a you know, I don't know how many funds are there. Just scroll up so we can see. So yeah, so there are 10 mutual funds. So what happens is this simulation starts, as you can see, there's a start date showing when the simulation starts right at the top here, 15th October, I believe, 15th October 2020. So it starts at the price of 100 on 15th October 2020, and after that, for every day, it calculates the return of each fund based on the allocations you have to each fund. It calculates what the 100 will become. So it goes up 100, 101, 102, etc. Through time. So that is the price of the portfolio. Now, if you run a different portfolio, or if you change the start date, that 100 will begin from that date and go on. So this is a theoretical price of the portfolio, but effectively you get the correct answer in terms of what the return or the loss was.
Okay, so for example, last question. So for example,
Yeah.
So the price was assuming it was 100 when I started.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and the portfolio increased by 10%. So the price will go to 110.
Correct.
Okay, and or if the fund reduces by 10%, so the price will
It'll go to
below
90.
90%.
It'll go to
Okay,
90.
thank you.
And just to see this, very quickly, Ankush, if you can just click on any of the funds on the portfolio on the top. When you do this drawdown analysis for a single fund, in this case, there is no need for a theoretical price because obviously the fund has NAVs. So if you go to the drawdown section for this fund, for this specific fund, you will actually see the real NAVs of this fund. So here the prices, start price, end price, these are referring to the actual fund NAV. And that should match if you check in history.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Okay, there's a question saying, can you provide training in Hindi? Yes, we have that option. Ankush, please just write the name down so we can contact them separately and we can provide training in Hindi. Perfect. Okay, there's another question saying you wanted to know if the statement which is uploaded comprises of different PAN numbers or we want to generate a portfolio. Okay, so you can provide statements which have several PAN numbers in them. Generally speaking, they will upload together as if it's one portfolio. If you want to obviously segregate them, you will have to upload separate statements, one by one. But if you have a consolidated statement, that will upload, but it will not differentiate the PAN numbers in that case. So ideally speaking, I would suggest that you upload the PAN numbers separately because you can easily combine the portfolios once they are in NGEN markets under different PAN numbers. So that that's available in the client section that can actually be done. Any other questions? Please let us know.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I am Anil.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hi, sir, I'm Anil Chitwal. Sir,
Yes.
can you explain what is distribution in this?
Of course, yeah.
And
So let's go. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you were asking something else. Please go ahead.
yeah, what is mean observation, this mode, skewness? What is this?
Understand.
And
So
fit.
basically, yeah, sure. So basically, distribution, it's a pretty standard concept. So what we do is, in this case, if we look at it, we've said number of intervals 10 and return period 1 day. So what we do is, for this return series, in this case, it is a portfolio. It could be a fund also, doesn't matter. So for any historical return series, what we do is we take the 1 day returns because that's what we've selected on the top. We take all of them Now, then after we take all the 1-day returns, we basically sort them from the worst to the best. Once we have done that, we divide all of these returns into 10 buckets, equally spaced buckets or ranges. So if there are like, let's say there are 100 1-day returns, then every range will have 10. And that range is very simple. It goes from the worst to the best. So on the right-hand side, if you look at the frequency table, you can see the frequency table top is like minus 0.27%. That's the worst daily return it has, going all the way to the best, which is about 1.2377. And the next return that you see after that, that is like the edge of the next range. So now we have 10 buckets. Then the final thing we do is we have these ranges and we count the number of returns that fall within these ranges. So basically, how many daily returns fall between, minus 2.70 and minus 2.26, for example, in this case, and then the next one and the next one. So this is to see what is the frequency of returns in each different bucket, each of these 10 buckets. So in this chart, we are basically showing the number of returns that fall within each of these return ranges. So this gives you a good idea of probability of future returns. This is one way to basically check probability. And what you see from this chart is the tallest bar here, which is right in the middle. That is this interval. We've called it an interval here, but it's basically the same range or bucket I was talking about. That is from minus 0.07 to about 0.36. So most of the returns, you can see 40%, not most, but at least quite a large percentage of your return, 40%, lie within this range, right? And then you can look at the other bars to see what range they lie on. So the highest probability that you have of a daily return you have of getting between minus 0.07 and 0.36. So you have a very high chance of getting a positive day, at least a 40% chance of getting a positive day. Now you can obviously change some of the parameters on the top, like the 1 day, you can make it a 1 month, for example, if you're interested mostly in monthly returns. So here you can see it's a bit more distributed, but even then, you can see the tallest one is between 2 to 3.2%. So he has a 27% chance that you will get a month which is between 2 and 3.2%. So that may be useful information. And you can see on the left and the right, the far left and far right, these are what we would call the tails of the distribution. So this is where something has a very low chance of happening, but it has happened before, right? So you can see a very high return number or a very low return number, right? And on the left-hand side, these are basically statistical values to help you kind of understand the data. Observation, this means how many months there are. So that's 37 months. Mean is basically the average, right? Median is just a mathematical term which kind of shows you the middle point of a return series. And then as you come below, another statistical measure called mode. And skewness is sometimes useful when you have a distribution. In this case, Ankush, let's just change the number of bins to a little bit bigger, maybe 100 or something. You can go up to 10,000 here. So number of bins means number of intervals. So we can slice the return range up into smaller parts if you want. So you can see more detail. And skewness basically shows you kind of which side the distribution is tilted towards, negative or positive, and by how much basically. So this is a statistical analysis tool for distribution analysis. The way it becomes useful is ideally, we would suggest you use 1 day, not 1 month. And this gives you a much better idea. So just do 1 day. So you can see, generally speaking, this is how, so this looks much more like a regular distribution. You can see quite a lot of these returns are coming up into this middle tall bar here. So that's most of the return you can see are concentrated in the middle area, which is mostly positive. So that's a decent sign. So again, this is more of a tool to help you understand the probability of different kind of returns happening.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. There's another question on the chart saying, while fetching cash, you should input PAN so the cash is generated for a particular plan, even if I see. Yes, I believe so. I'm not exactly sure what happens in the cash ordering website, but that does make sense that if your cash is generated for a particular PAN, that you have to input PAN rather than the email address. I'm not exactly sure, so I don't want to give you an answer that might be wrong, but I believe if your email address is registered to different PANs, you might get many together. But yeah, you will have to check that because this, I'm assuming you will do this on the Camscavi ordering website. Okay, so sorry, I can't help out much there. Okay, is there any further questions? Please let us know.
So can you explain contribution once again? Contribution.
Sure. So basically what we've done when we've run portfolio analytics is basically looked at the historical price of this portfolio, which is effectively a backtest, and shown you what kind of return you would get if you had invested into these funds in these percentage holdings. Now, after we do that, we look at where these returns came from. So what was the contribution of each fund to this overall portfolio return, which you see on the performance page. So the contribution page is effectively a fund by fund breakdown of the returns you see on the performance page. That's basically what it is. And on the chart, you can see the best contributors. The blue line is the best contributor, and so on. If you have quite a lot of fun, remember you can kind of zoom into this chart. So Ankush, if you just click and drag, around that, you can see it coming through. So click and drag on where the smaller bars are. You'll actually start to see because some of them we can't see. Just zoom around that. So you start to see the numbers because you can hover around them and basically understand exactly what they are. We also have another table on the right. Sometimes it might get confusing to read, but just to make sure it's clear, the first column is total return. So that just says Kotak Small Cap Fund. What is the total return of Kotak Small Cap Funds on the period that you have selected on the top? Second, on the right is basically says if my total return is 100, out of that 100, what percentage of my return has come from Kotak? So factually, you can say that out of this performance that I saw on the performance page, 37% of the returns have come from Kotak. So 37% is not a return number. 37 is a percentage contribution, right? So the return number will be different, which can easily be calculated using the total return and the portfolio weight you have, which I believe should be given below if you click on the Kotak bar. But basically, this shows you which fund has contributed how much to the overall return in this portfolio backtest.
How much is the? Can you scroll up a bit up? How much is the Kotak percentage of Kotak I am holding? This portfolio is holding.
Yes, so just scroll up. Yeah. So
this is Kotak Small Cap Fund, 22%. It
2
is
points. Yeah.
So yeah. So 22.65% of holding is generating 37% of the return.
No,
So
it is not generating 37% return. So 37 is not a return number. It is saying if the overall portfolio return is, let's say total portfolio return is 10%, then 37% of that 10% is coming from Kotak. So 3.7.
Okay.
Right. So that's a percentage out of 100%.
Right. So it is, we can say that Kotak Small Cap is contributing more in this return generation of this portfolio.
Exactly. That is the purpose of this. Exactly. That you can say that, almost 40% of the return is actually coming from one fund. That is the insight that you can get from this, that, in terms of diversification of my returns coming from this fund or that fund, If you get a very high number for one fund, you could be a bit concerned that most of my return is coming from one fund. What happens when that fund stops performing, right? So this is more of a red flag you could raise, and at the bottom you can kind of see the portfolio return. This how much this fund contributed, and then finally the allocation in the portfolio. But
just a minute. Total portfolio return is 27.61% during this period which we have selected, and this fund has contributed 57.60%.
No, this fund is the total return of this fund. So maybe we should probably change the labels a bit because it's a bit confusing. This fund 57 is, I believe, the performance of this fund alone.
And allocation in portfolio is above, you have shown
22.
that is 22.65%.
Yeah.
Total portfolio return is 22 point something. Scroll down, please. Yeah,
27.61. 22 times 57%. That will give you the return contribution for this period from Kotak. 22% because 22% is the allocation. This fund has returned 57% in this period. We have only got 22% of that return because that's the allocation in the portfolio.
27% return. And this, can you explain this fund 57.6% mean?
That means this is the actual fund's return.
Okay. Okay, right. Understood.
There's another question on the chat, which says, can you help me understand where to put the pan? So I'm sorry, I think in this session, we didn't actually show where the files are ordered. Obviously, that is not a system we we run. So in the CAMS website, I believe you can enter the PAN number, not just the email. You can enter just the PAN number. Even if the email ID is the same, if you put the PAN number, then you will get only that PAN number's holding. If you do need further help with us, just give us, just drop us a message to support@ngenresearch.com, and we will try to help you out separately on a call.
Hey, hi, this is Arunav here.
Hi.
Can you hear?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and so suppose there is a hypothetical portfolio consists of 10 mutual funds and 5 PMSs, which is there in a cash statement. Can we run the overlap analysis between 10 mutual funds and the 5 PMSs together? Portfolio level?
Yeah, unfortunately, with PMS overlap analysis is not going to be possible because obviously, as you know, the holdings are not very easily available for PMS portfolios. So the issue is that the overlap analysis will only work for mutual funds. Yeah, because PMS holdings are obviously not publicly disclosed, and even when they are, sometimes they only show you top 5, top 10. So even if you have the data, you will then have to enter them as individual stock holdings. So if you have, overlap analysis of PMS and MF together is unfortunately not possible.
But suppose we can cluster the separate PMSs on a separate ID and run like in the same format you were running the overlap for a mutual fund, because that has a ISN, individual ISN for all the mutual funds. So we can assign a separate ISN theoretically for all the PMSs and cluster all the funds as a under that ISN, and then we cannot be not be run that in a separate node.
Sure. So we do allow you to create new securities in the My Securities section, but in that we only currently provide the facility to upload the historical returns of that new security, and you can add a custom security to a portfolio. But we currently don't provide the facility for you to also add the underlying holdings of this theoretical security. That's where the issue is, because right now a fund is an entity in our system which has holdings. A custom security is an entity which only has returns, no holdings. And it's because of that you will not be able to update or input PMS holdings directly related to a custom security. If you wanted to run a PMS analysis separately, you can obviously individually upload the stocks as a stock portfolio. The system won't know that it's a PMS. It will just think it's a stock portfolio and run it for you. But the overlap that you want to do is, I'm assuming, between the holdings of a mutual fund and the holdings of a PMS. That unfortunately isn't possible.
Okay, we'll talk separately. Maybe decide.
Sure, we can discuss this offline as well if you want.
And also, can you show me how to edit the PDF? Ankush was mentioning we can edit the PDF as well.
Sure. So what we do is, for any portfolio analysis, or even fund actually, you can download two types of files. One is a direct PDF, which the first option, which is a PDF. There, it's just a static PDF. You can't change anything, right? You can choose to put a watermark or not, etc. But what we also provide is a PowerPoint option. So what you can do is, it's again just one click and you get it. And that obviously is an editable file. So here you can actually make many changes before you save it as a PDF. Obviously, we're assuming any PowerPoint that you have, you can, before you send to a client, you'll obviously save it as a PDF for ease of use, access, as well as for regulatory purposes. So when you get this file, it's quite extensive. So here you can easily make changes, add slides, add a little note of your own, etc. And once you're done, you can just file save as PDF, and you have a finished product. So we take you like 95% of the way here, and after that, if you can make a few changes, save it as PDF, and you're done.
So the layout is a fixed layout, or you can customize the layout as per your.
Well, the layout is fixed. You can customize to an extent. So Ankush, let's go back to the platform. What you can do is, you can basically go to the settings section, and there are some options. So under your so firstly you can change colors. So here what you can do is you can change your base color. If you change your base color, the blue that you saw on the left side of the PPT, that will change to whatever you choose here. And then you can also change the color theme of the charts. You can use some of the given preset themes, or you can actually select each color individually by using the box below the color, and then clicking on update. And that will apply globally to the entire application. So every analysis you run, those colors will be used, and that helps you to kind of customize your look and feel a bit. Obviously, if you have a logo uploaded, just let us know if you want to do that. You just have to write to support. That logo will also show up in the PPT, but the general layout is what we provide right now.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Any other questions, please let us know.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Sir, can you take a session on how to actually analyze a portfolio? You have shown us these are the parameters. You have shown overlap, stats, contribution, performance. Actually, which fund should we keep? And on these parameters, which fund should be removed? Can you guide on that?
Absolutely. So we will definitely do a session on that. I'm pretty sure that we have done some sessions before, for which we will have uploaded them on YouTube. So Ankush, please note this client's name down, and we'll send you some of them, but we'll also organize one soon. And here I would also suggest in the meantime to have a look at the compare section, because that's very useful, especially in terms of making a decision about which funds to keep or not keep. And Ankush, let's actually show the process quickly, where you're in the portfolio section. There is a button on the top saying take all these funds to compare. When you
Okay.
click on it, it automatically takes you to the compare section and loads whatever funds you have in the portfolio into this section. And here you can really kind of go in deep in terms of analysis of these funds from all different parts. Because if you look at the tabs here, there's quite a few tabs. Everything from rolling analysis, drawdowns, risk versus return. There's quite a lot of stuff which will take a long time to go through. But we will definitely have a session on this. We've had previous sessions also.
Okay.
So we will send you a list of some of those
Okay.
recordings so you can have a look. And this section is what most of our users actually use to decide which funds from, let's say, a list of 15, 20 that they maybe narrowed down, which ones they want to keep, which ones, they want to remove, etc.
Okay. Similarly, you should have a session for constructing a new portfolio. Suppose somebody is giving 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs, and he's
Yes.
aggressive or the other non-aggressive investor, and how we should construct. Actually, we should practically choosing fund. You can understand?
No problem. Yes, absolutely. We will, I mean, that again, we won't take the time here to do it, but that process in our system starts at the fund section screener. And that this is where we go through the entire universe of the fund. As we go through these different parameters and start sorting, etc., we start adding the funds we like using the button on the left to the compare list. And maybe we end up with a smaller list of, let's say, 30, 40 funds. Then we use the compare section to further drill down that list into, let's say, a manageable list of 10 to 15 funds. And once that is done, we convert it to a portfolio, take it to the portfolio section, and we finally use the optimize button there to actually also, just optimize the weighting that we have in the fund. Once we have a list of 10 funds, what should it be? 10, 10, 10, 10
Okay.
each.
Please select on this, see suggestion to improve. Okay.
Yeah. So this will not suggest new funds. It will not even tell you to take out any fund. It will say you have selected these 10 funds. I'm going to mathematically try to give you a quote unquote better.
Can you explain this? I have opened this, but I could not understand anything.
Sure. So basically, you should look at this screen from a perspective of columns. So on the left columns, you can see the original portfolio. So let's ignore the top 3 lines for now, but you can see the portfolio is there. Kotak Flexi 9.69. This is the portfolio you had uploaded to begin with, right? Now,
9.6 is the percentage of
yes, percentage allocation. Percentage.
Okay.
This is what you start. This is what you input into the system, right? After you run analytics, etc. This is the portfolio is the original one. On the right of this column, you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different portfolios where all the funds are the same, but the percentage allocation is different, right? So here, if you look at them, the next 6 columns are basically suggestions that we have made based on mathematical methods, right? The final column, which is the equal weights column, that is there for reference because it is quite useful sometimes to see, because this is saying what will my return look like if I just blindly put equal amounts of money in all these funds.
Okay.
Right? You can see 15.55% is the return. So the first thing you can do is scroll back to the original and see, okay, I'm getting 19%, 19.73% in the original case, what I have now. So at least that is better than equal allocation. That's good.
Okay.
Right? But now we've given you some suggestions. So 3 suggestions are coming from a ranking model and 3 suggestions are coming from a value model. So these are all different suggestions. You can keep them, you can ignore them. And because this is a 100% mathematical and process, sometimes you may not get some good suggestions. Sometimes you might get some very good ones. So it's worth checking. Now here you can see in couple of these suggestions, the return has gone up, right? From 19, it's gone up to 21. You can see the Sharpe ratio is slightly better. So in the ranking model, we basically given you one portfolio, which is the second column called rank returns. There it is basically using a ranking model based on the returns of each fund. The second column is basically trying to minimize your vol. So the return will always be lower in this case.
Okay.
Because here the target is not to make money, target is to reduce risk. So you can see the volatility has gone up really low. It's 2%, but it's making less money, obviously, right? Then the third one is that we make all the allocation decisions based on Sharpe ratio, not just return, not just volatility. We make the decision based on Sharpe ratio, return by vol. And then the similar thing happens on the right-hand side, where instead of using a ranking model, we look at the actual value of the return and of the volatility and of the Sharpe ratio. So this is basically a different way of coming up with a better answer. So effectively what we are doing is we are giving you 6 suggestions, 3 from the ranking model, 3 from the value model. You can use them if you want. And we are also giving you a reference one, which is equal weights. And if you like any of them, you can just click on the, let's say you like the rank returns model on the ranking model. You click on the save button. It will automatically fill in the name. You can change that name if you want. And you just click on create. What it is done now, and now close this. You can close this big window also. And if you look at the portfolio section on the left, where you have all your portfolio, yeah, you'll have to do a search. Let's do a search, and so that way people are aware of that search. Yeah, so you search test here. There it is, test optimized, right? And this is the new portfolio. This is the optimized portfolio, which has the changes embedded in them. And if you want, after doing some analysis on this, the best way to kind of present this to a client is to go to the compare portfolio section, which you can access in the compare section or just through this button. So here you can compare 2 portfolios, and obviously what we will do here is we load test on the left. So Ankush, let's test optimize on the right, and let that load, and the original portfolio on the left, right? So here we can basically show the client that the portfolio on the left is what you currently have or what you gave me, and I have presented you with a better option, because you can see side by side how your allocation changes have made a difference. The blue line is your new optimized version, the black line is your current version. So you can say that I've added value by looking at the right-hand side column here with all the green numbers. You can say my 1-year return has gone up, 3-year, 5-year return has gone up. My annual volatility has gone up a little bit, which is not a good thing, but my return has gone up more. So that way, because of that, risk-adjusted wise, Sharpe ratio wise, I have added value here. And again, there are many tabs here, rolling returns, drawdowns. You can show each of them in terms of how it has added value.
Right.
So I hope that helps, but we can definitely do another session. If you want an individual session, that just drop us an email, and we can arrange that also.
I want practical session, practically selection of fund, practically tweaking the portfolio, practically, okay, this fund is not performing, let's remove this fund. Let's instead of we can add weight to some existing fund, or we can add some other fund or remove some fund. So actual practical, you can understand.
Yes, absolutely. We can arrange a separate session for you, and we can take you through that in detail.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? Please let us know.
Hi, Aruna, and thank you for the session and
no problem.
The information in this. Obviously the system has the capability to run the post facto return. So is there the system also can help us projecting something futuristic in nature? Like these are all we are doing the adjustment probably post facto basis the current portfolio, and after optimization probably after 6 months that may be depending on the portfolio once the picture might change. So we have any kind of inputs data or analysis which can you see basis the fund's history and statistical inference on last 5-10 years, what will be the futuristic
Sure,
funds?
sure. So here, see, the thing is, whatever we do, right? Every forecast, every way of forecasting the future, or whatever futuristic outlook we have, you would agree that all of it will be based on historical data, right? Because that's all there is, right? There's nothing more than historical data available anyway. And through all the research we've done, even in our past careers, etc., the one thing that always stands out, one thing that everybody, even the biggest fund managers in the world, including stock traders, everybody, one thing everyone relies on is the backtest. That is why that is the main focus. If you look at other platforms, also same thing over there. So the backtest effectively is the most important. And the reason I say it is because, when you think about buying a stock, right, the first thing you do is you look at the historical stock price. You may not have ever bought that stock before, but you look at the historical stock price. One may ask, why are you looking at it? You've never bought it, but you look at the historical price of the stock. Now, when you want to, let's say, invest in this test file optimized portfolio, even though you may not have bought any of these funds, or you may have bought these funds at different times and rates, but that's irrelevant. What's relevant is you're buying this portfolio today. So the most important piece of information that you have is the historical price of this portfolio. And that is exactly what a backtest is the historical price of the portfolio instead of a historical price of a stock or a fund that you're looking at. It's no different from that. So in the same way that before buying a stock, before buying a fund, the first thing we look at is performance of that fund or of that stock. The first thing we should do before we get into a portfolio is look at the historical price of the portfolio, which is a backtest. So that is, in my mind, the most important piece of information to look at. Now we can do lots of analysis on that return series, which is what we've done when you run portfolio analytics. We have all kind of different statistics like rolling analysis. We have distribution analysis. We look at drawdowns, what kind of losses you've had. But to give you some more assistance in your research, we one thing that really helps is to look at kind of rankings within categories, etc. So one thing we hope to come up with soon, we're almost done with it, is the fund a fund score, which will help you kind of choose the best funds in a particular category, and that score keeps moving. But eventually, at the end of the day, your decision has to be made on historical data. So even currently, what we have, this should suffice in terms of kind of picking the right funds, especially in the compare section, because that's where you can do a lot of analysis on rolling returns, which is very, very useful. So that is one part I would strongly suggest that you just look into deeper, especially so Ankush, if we go to the compare section and the second tab, rolling. I think it's the second tab. Yeah, rolling analysis. So here, if you have about 15-20 funds, you can run rolling analysis on all of them. And what happens is it actually shows you returns on a daily frequency basis. In this case, the window is 12 months. And this kind of lets you choose quite well. And one of the things we have historically used a lot is this final column in this table, called the positive percentage. This is again very useful because this basically shows you the percentage of time that each of these items have been positive over this window for this time period. So basically, it's just saying ICICI, obviously it's a corporate bond fund, so and a floating rate fund. So 100% of their 12-month periods, all of the 12-month periods have been positive. And it starts to go down, obviously, as you start to go towards equity funds. So some of these statistics are there. If there are other statistics that you want to look at, do let us know. We are always looking for feedback and then, working on the basis of that. Quite a lot of the functionality you see right here is actually directly from the feedback we've got from the distributors and RIA clients that we have. So if there's any suggestions you have, please do share.
Sure, thanks. We have just signed up. We hope to utilize your platform in a much more better way.
Of course, of course, of course. Thank you. Any other questions? Please let us know.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
There is one more suggestion from my side.
Sure.
You have given monthly SIP option. Here we can see the performance of SIP in the past.
Yeah.
Similarly, you should also give the performance of lump sum in the past. You have given 5 scenarios for the lump
Yes.
sum. It should be
Yes.
one only. No, it should be simple. Like SIP, 5,000 rupees SIP has performed this way. Current value is this. 1 lakh invested at that point of time in 95, 93, 2000. Amount is this. Simple. There we
I
have to
see.
feed 5 scenarios, this, that is
Okay,
complicated.
okay.
Simple. Understood my point?
So yeah, absolutely. So in the monthly SIP tab, Ankush, let's go there for a second. So here, would it help if we add another column? So you have XIRR, you have final value, that's of the SIP. Maybe we
Okay.
add another column saying lump sum, right? So you will see, but again, the lump sum,
Lump sum,
what
they should be separate. It will be confusing
yeah.
here. Yeah.
Right. So
Because-
what we have is in the point-to-point section, we have a lump sum thing. But as you say, now here you can ignore the remaining 4. So here, here it's actually showing you lump sum of any start and end date, right? So you don't have to put anything on the remaining 4. You can just select these 2. So here you can actually get these answers out. So you can put any date, right? And you can put any lump sum amount. Yeah, just yes, fine, whatever it says. So you can change the dates here and hit enter. And it will basically show you the lump sum for each of these funds from this start to this end.
So this is a bit cluttered. You have got given 5 columns. I want simple. I want to know that I invested on 29 September 1995 in Reckoning FlexiCap. What is the current value? Simple.
Okay, no, so that is there. That is there. I
Right.
can show you. Ankush, just click on Kotak FlexiCap. I think this is the link or not. Yeah. You click on it. Now, on the top here, there is a number. Hold on, let this one. Yeah, there it is. This one.
Okay. It is there.
This is there. Yeah.
Okay.
So here you can change this on the right hand in the green box, 5.94 crore. This is a straightforward.
This is invested from 30th November. Can I change the date 30th November?
Of course.
Yeah.
Ankush, just this change. Yeah, you can either a custom date or whatever one. You can either easy buttons here, or you can just change the date. So
can you click again? What is the drawdown was 5 year, 3 year? Which button was that?
So Ankush, just click. There it is. 3 months, 6 months ago.
Okay, here you have changed.
Yeah.
Okay, here you have changed.
And just Ankush, just click anything. Just 3 years ago, and so now you'll get that number right on top. That's always there.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right.
Yeah. Perfect. Any other questions, please let us know.
Okay, thank you so much everyone for joining this webinar session. So what we'll do is please stay tuned for the webinar recordings so that will be uploaded by the next week, Wednesday or Thursday. And thank you once again for joining. Thank you so much.